Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
I think it's time, Jack. I think it's time.
What do you think I'd look like without a beard? I don't know, Will. Wait, hi, everybody.
Wrong week. That's never wrong.
Never the wrong
Star Trek week is never a wrong week.
It's always Star Trek week for me. So it's pretty awesome.
Well, we got one more week before our actual second annual, the Scene Snobs Star Trek week comes to fruition.
So excited.
I am too. I'm so excited because you were part of it last year, but you're part of it as a guest.
Yes, that was actually my first. That was my first time. That was when not my first time.
No.
And not my first time. But it was one of my first times being with you reconnected. So it was like the first time.
That was the one where like it had Star Trek week. Like, I was like, okay, we're going to do Star Trek week. It's going to be crazy. All of our shows are going to be Star Trek that week, and we're going to do specials and everything else. And we did. Yeah. It was great. And the panel was so much fun last year. A lot of people. It was a blast. Really it. So, and you were part of it. Ian Lovejoy, Alex, and I forget who else. But
Mike.
Who?
Michael. I'm a terrible human.
No, I think it was Ariel.
I knew. Oh yeah, Ariel was on there. Yep.
So we did. We did the whole panel. We did a script read of a Star Trek TNG episode, Cupid, which you were a part of.
I was not.
No, you weren't. You weren't a part of it.
No, I was not. No, but all the parts were taken by the time I was involved. Thanks a lot.
Sorry, that was when you had to come out early. This year, I did not learn that lesson because, like, last year I was like, all right, I had like 3 or 4 weeks, and I was like, we're good. I got this covered. Mm-hmm. And then, like, this year, it's like I still haven't asked the entire cast yet. I have us and Gerard.
I mean, it's a strong start, though.
It is a strong start.
That's 3 right there, bro. And guess what? Right. From there, we can only grow. So maybe we'll ask tonight if anyone is interested in being part of our live script read. And you want to join the Snobs for Star Trek Week and experience something with me that is close to a holy experience, then you should definitely let us know. Hit us up. Bother us.
Oh, 100%.
Hi, George.
Hey, George is here. George says hello, gents. George, pleasure to see you as always, sir. We love your faces, and we love when you guys join in the conversation. We have full topics tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We might get through them all.
Maybe. We'll see. Hopefully. I am excited, though, because, like, again, to build it up a little bit more, I announced it on Funny Science Fiction. I was a guest last night, but we get to do it here.
Which was fantastic. I couldn't, unfortunately, comment along. I don't know what was going on, but nothing was, like, working properly. So instead, I was just forced to watch, criminally incapable of responding or speaking. It was horrible. But it's a good show, as always, because they're awesome.
Facebook user was there, and we thought it was you.
Yeah, I know. I was like, no, it's not. I was screaming at it. I was like, I wish.
It was so fun. Paul, what's going on, man?
Hi,
Good
Paul.
evening, gentlemen.
What's up, buddy?
Awful reader, but my interest is piqued. Reader. What are you an awful reader about?
Don't know.
Oh, the reading of the script. The reading
yes.
of the script. Okay.
You don't have to be a good reader. You can just practice a lot and then memorize the lines and then wow us all.
It was so last year was a narcissist move for me because I was like, all right. I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway. I was like, all right, I'm going to read the action lines and I'm going to play Picard.
Of course.
And I was like, all right.
Of course you were going to play Picard.
Well, it was funny because for me, I was like, there's so many people in that episode. And Cupid is a famous episode where Q comes and puts him back in Robin Hood times. And it's a lot of fun. And that's why, like, when we pick these episodes, we pick the ones that are the most fun. So people can, like, really relate to it.
You can really walk in the character, really feel the space.
Well, with Gerard and the way he dresses up for everything, you have to let it roll. So you got to do something fun.
I've already got my TOS Captain's Command Gold. I will be rocking, so don't you worry, buddy.
Oh, yeah, me too. I got my shirt ready to go, and I bought it specifically for last year, so I'm excited to have a second year of the wonderfulness that is Star Trek. So we'll do that Thursday night. Will be the script read. That will start at 8, 7 p.m. on Friday. We're going to do our trivia again. So we will be on the lookout for a few people to jump in to do Star Trek trivia, as hosted Casey's taking the hosting. I didn't even tell him, so he doesn't know. So I'm telling him now.
It's very exciting.
But last year you partook in it.
Congratulations, everyone, for me to host. Yes, I did,
Yep.
and I'm very excited to be able to try out my casting voice. I've always felt like I've been really good and made for game shows. I should be a game show host. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Star Trek Trivia Night.
I hear Jeopardy has an opening.
They do, but unfortunately, I think that show is murdered for me forever. He's still an EP, so it doesn't matter. Mike Richards.
No. Today he was fired from both shows, that and Wheel of Fortune.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, all right. Partial faith in humanity restored a little bit.
What did he do that was so bad? I didn't really read up on it too much because if it's not LeVar Burton, I kind of don't care what's going on with Jeopardy. So I'm legit all right, this dude is
sexual harassment stuff.
Oh, was it?
Assault in the workplace kind of thing. Just not a nice dude. Yeah.
Okay, because I had heard something along the lines of it's he had said some stuff on a podcast, and I was like,
I think that was too. He had made some comments, and so there's been a trail, where the door opens, and now you just go, oh, look at all this. Yeah, so
that's legit. See, I let everybody else bury themselves on the podcast.
That's exactly what I've been doing this whole time, digging holes, baby.
That's the way to do it. George C3 says, I may be available for Star Trek trivia. Ooh. I'm not 100%, but I think I'm average. After all, two of my TV modes of transportation were Star Trek ships, the Enterprise D and the Defiant.
Absolutely excellent choices. The Enterprise D is monstrous, so it's just awesome, and the Defiant was radical. I didn't like the smaller ships, but that one was pretty cool.
All right, so precursor to next week's Star Trek show. On our show next Tuesday at 9, I want you to think about something.
Okay.
And then we'll get to it, and this will be Coffee Snob. I love it. I never saw that. I didn't see that. First tear to my eye because we're the Scene Snobs.
See what I did there? You see how that works?
I won't.
Shout out to my daughter who found this. It was like, Daddy, you're a snob. And I was like, all right.
It's perfect. I love it. I have all my coffee cups, my Horror Tales 666 Part 2, which is out now. Everybody can go pick it up. Hey, Captain Cartoon, man.
Captain Cartoon 2. What up, buddy?
What's up, buddy? He is awesome. We're friends on Twitter for sure. And very, very cool horror selection. The man knows his stuff. So think about this, and we'll talk about it next week. We're going to put it to a debate. Better ship, Enterprise D, Enterprise E. Okay? I think I know what your answer is going to be.
I'll have to think about it.
Well, it's Carnival Cruise Lines or...
Norwegian. Always Norwegian, bro.
Norwegian.
Trust the Scandinavians. Trust the Scandinavians.
It's true.
Just let them handle it.
The Norwegian D.
They've got roads that are solar panels that charge vehicles that drive on them. Just give it to them. Just let them figure it out.
It's very true. The Norwegians, they're Swedes, Mac.
Whichever
no. He's like the Swedes are attacking. He's like, no, they're Norwegians, Mac. No, I can't believe I got that wrong.
Just be careful. Let's leave the Finland as a buffer.
That's fair. We definitely need to do that. Yeah. All right. So I want to get to our first topic of the night. So, a lot of people are talking about No Way Home trailer finally coming out. We got to look at everything.
It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, so we get an idea of where the trouble's coming from. Doctor Strange is involved. We're getting the villains from the other universes in.
I do love the idea that Doctor Strange broke it.
Yeah,
he just straight up broke it.
Well, the thing I like about it is he did break it, but you can still tell it was Peter.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course.
But he's a kid. I mean, how do you blame a kid for screwing up?
Easily. What are you talking about? He opened up multiverses. He put tears in reality. You can blame him for a lot.
All right. Did he really, or did the Loki variant do that?
No. Nope.
The Enchantress. Sylvie.
Nope. I doubt it.
She did. She did. You know it.
Don't try to lick those. Now you're going to pull out Morbius. We're going to see
every episode, kind of every show, even Scarlet Witch kind of broke reality a little bit with the multiverse. ripping things apart.
She's supposed to. She's supposed to introduce us to that.
It's true.
Yeah.
And then we get What If. So, I mean, it's kind of cool.
What If has been righteous?
I do want to ask you, first and foremost, what is your first reaction to the new Spider-Man movie via the trailer?
I mean, I'm stoked for it. It's Spider-Man, and they're going to bring everyone together. I'm excited to see what they do, and it's a Doctor Strange heavy movie, so I'm cool. I'm stoked. They're getting a lot of story in, and they're getting a lot of the characters in, so I'm excited. I mean, the same way Black Widow, I wasn't really pumped for until the day before, and then of course you see it, and it's great. Of course they're going to do great. Marvel always does great. Look, on the scale of comparing it to other movies, as a Marvel movie, it automatically is already a cut above. You know what I'm saying? So all we got was a female born, and it was awesome.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about all that.
I back it.
Atomic Blonde
I am here for it.
Atomic Blonde is the female Bond.
Is an amazing movie. But no, she was born. Atomic Blonde is more Bond. Born. Yeah. Atomic Blonde to me is more Bond. She's a female Bond.
All right, listen, here's the deal.
You're wrong.
We all know Black Widow was not a very good movie.
And you can pump the brakes right there, Chief. Just because you had an issue with turning your car lights off and couldn't actually sit at the drive-in to watch it.
I watched it at home. I saw the movie. I know what happened.
I did too.
I know. I watched it with you.
I fell asleep the first time.
Dude, I am still sticking by. I'm still sticking by everything this year has been mediocre to good.
Do you think you've become harsher on your judgment scale?
I just
a little more judgy McJudgerson.
I just don't think that it would. I think everything's well written. It's fine. I know what they're building to. It's okay. But to me, the best thing about this year so far, Marvel related, so far, is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was the most grounded. I enjoyed it. It's pushing towards something within the Marvel Universe. I don't mind the multiverse. I don't mind them opening that up to bring things in and stuff like that. But I just kind of don't care about what's going on. And maybe Spider-Man will change that. But
I feel like you kind of go through this Marvel burn, bro. Where after enough Marvel stuff, you're just like, ugh. And I get it. I do understand the Marvel burn. I have experienced it, but you seem to approach it faster. And I don't know if it's because in your soul, you're such a DC fan that you are so disheartened that there's nothing to match what, in fact, Marvel is successfully doing.
Spider-Man is probably if not my favorite entity of superhero in the comic book form. Right on level with Superman, right there at the top. If Superman doesn't exceed Spider-Man, they're even. Only because there's something I love Superman. But Spider-Man. Spider-Man, most people will compare Superman to Captain America. Mm-hmm. I would go one step further to say he's more like Spider-Man. Okay. Because people don't realize Superman has problems too. Captain America never really seems to have problems that he can't outmaneuver in some way. Right. He's sad, his girlfriend is dead, because she was 70.
Well, I mean, not and all of his friends and everyone ever knew in the way of life that has changed and adjusted to, but I'm sure, it's just his girlfriend. That was absolutely the only thing he was concerned with.
It really was. And he went back in time and he fixed it. So good for him. But Spider-Man always has problems. It was funny. We're watching a Spider-Man cartoon that Disney Plus put out. That's kind of intertwined. It's really good. They did a really good job. So I'm watching them with the kids. And they introduced a character named Blizzard.
Okay.
Who basically has the powers of Iceman because of an armband or whatever.
Sweet. So Captain Cold without a gun?
Basically. So here's why I got annoyed, because the boys are like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, no, you don't need it. Spider-Man has a rogues gallery that is almost unending. Like
Yeah.
this guy has people who can show up, and you can do 7 seasons with his rogues gallery alone, not connecting it to all of the storylines that you can tell. So I'm like, why would you? It's like Batman coming in and then just being like, we're gonna make up a whole new slate of Batman villains. Why?
I mean, maybe to try to relate to kids in some different level, or to just sell toys, or that's always a question. That's the only thing I can think of, is to sell toys. I mean, Spider-Man is amazing. I do love his character. I love all the stuff he goes through. It's unfortunate that it took so long for this to work out the way it has, but it's kind of gotten me even more excited now for it. And I think it's going to be fantastic. I think they're doing great. I've loved everything they've done this year. I couldn't disagree more that Falcon and Winter Soldier is the only good thing they've put forth. I think WandaVision was absolutely fantastic. I was a huge fan of Loki. I think Loki really blew the doors off of it. They just nailed it. There was a couple episodes that had parts that I was like, they're just kind of stroking themselves here. This is legitimately just Disney going, oh, look how great we are. Yeah, we're going to have this big shot here, and look how cool this is. Yeah, like there was a little bit of that, but they kind of have earned it. They've earned a few victory laps, so it's fine to see. And I've enjoyed what they've put forth. Like I said, I think Black Widow was good. There haven't been a lot of great things coming out that have been actiony and gripping. There's been good horror. I'm delving into independent horror. There's been some fantastic cool stuff in there, some really innovative, fun things. But in the world of big budget box office movies, I haven't been very impressed. Marvel has continued to push the envelope for me.
Before we move on, because I do want to make an announcement that involves horror. Captain Cartoon says, nice. I've enjoyed all the shows thus far. What If is a fresh.
Oh man, and season 1 I loved Peggy Carter, bro.
And he also says, awesome. Yeah, I do too. And they're actually setting that up so she can come back into the live action world. Most of these people, What If is setting certain characters up from the multiverse to be, and one of them rumored heavily right now is Professor X.
Get what?
Yeah. So I'm excited. So I hope we see that for sure.
Chucky Xavier, that would be awesome.
Cap says he's an Ant-Man villain, ain't he? No, I actually just looked it up because I was like, is he? Because I don't remember him being an Ant-Man villain. He's actually was introduced on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, okay. So, all right. I thought he sounded kind of familiar. Ugh.
Yeah. So like, I didn't really know him from there, but at the same time, I'm like, I didn't really care for it because again, if you have these villains like the Flash TV show, I will give them that. Like they would take some villains, not just that were his, but that existed in the Green Lantern universe, things like in the Green Arrow universe, and some in other places, and it worked because I was like, okay, he has a good rogues gallery, but it's not a deep rogues gallery. So take him from other places because he doesn't. Spider-Man has such a deep rogues gallery. It's like, tell those stories first.
You already have the Sinister Six. Like, just out the gate, let's just say you've already got 6 monster characters. That you don't need to build any more from that. Plus, whatever the Young Avengers are building out, too. So those two combined, that's huge numbers. That's 20 right there, The Young Avengers bad guys are cool. So Janae agrees with me, first of all.
Yep.
We're
Black Widow was a bad movie. Yes, he is correct. Except Free Guy. Free Guy was a good movie. Free Guy,
honestly, I haven't seen Free Guy yet, and I can't wait to.
Yeah.
That is what I'm excited about.
I have a story for you later on that when we talk about our main topic. But Janai says Loki was amazing for how it opened up Marvel Phase 4. Like, listen, I liked the shows. Again, they're well written.
No, you didn't. You're sitting here complaining about it. You just spent 10 minutes just chewing screen talking about how it's so bad.
There's something
so
about that.
Let's just watch something else. You know what I'd rather watch? How about Mork and Mindy reruns? Let's go sit down, get some Pall Malls, and enjoy ourselves.
I would do that.
Frightening.
Spider-Man is the most tragic hero of all time. I might agree.
I mean, he's never able to have a relationship either due to death or work. Oh my God, yeah. I'm Spider-Man.
All right, moving on. Agreed.
See,
I'll give you that one. which they do regularly. Some of these Case gets me. I'm not a fan of What If yet. Okay, so Janai's not a fan of What
You'll
If.
get there.
He says, I can do Mork and Mindy again. Nobody can do Mork and Mindy again. Nobody can do Mork and Mindy. I watched one episode of Mork and Mindy the other day on the Happy Days channel on Pluto TV. And I love Robin Williams, one of my favorite actors of all time. Truly, like tears racing down my face when he died. And
no, he's hilarious. Well, he was a brilliant comedian.
We did a whole on our old show when he died. We did a whole show dedicated to Robin Williams. That's how
yes, we did. Yep, that was a tough day, man. Do you believe that was like 2014, mate?
Yeah, I remember what happened. I got out of, I hate to say it, but the Ninja Turtles movie from Manassas 5.
Yep. And
I walked out. I looked at my phone, and the news was on there, and it fucking killed me.
Yeah, it was brutal, man.
I want to reach back and talk to Paul real quick because Paul had said, have you seen Candyman yet? That's the first one. That's the only one. We're letting it go. One thing, I have not seen it yet. I've heard great things. I'm going to say this. Congratulations to Nia DaCosta. She is the first Black female filmmaker to reach a #1 movie.
Oh, and that's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, that's great. And it's a horror movie, which is amazing. And I love that.
Well, that means, Candyman is the one I'm most excited about. Free Guy, like the buzz around Free Guy, sounds wonderful, but I'm super stoked for Candyman.
That's 3. There's a rule. There's a rule. That's it. There was a rule. I have to kick him out.
We can't say that here because I'm at work. So if I'm walking down one of these aisles in this giant area by myself, I'll be freaked out. I'll be so scared. I'll be so scared.
It's called
I won't go to the bathroom for the rest of the night. So that's already alone a terrible thing because you know how freaky those stalls are when there's 3 toilets and then you got the urinals, but you walk in and there's the sink with the 4 basins. And that is terrifying. That giant mirror is like at any point someone could be around there. Like, because what if there's no reflection? So you walk past and he's right there and there's just a hook. And it's like
well, if you remember the second one, when the guy walks into the bathroom, which is like, the second one isn't as good, but like it's the most
good kills. Though. I did like the good kills. They were really gnarly kills.
Well, that was cool because the bathroom environment atmosphere to it was really well done.
I know you've got a thing for bathrooms.
Well, nice ones.
Like, who doesn't? And especially when there's someone there. Like, I don't know what they call them. The person who's the staff who's waiting on you with like a spritz of cologne or maybe a hot towel or something. Those are always so fancy. I'll take whatever they got. They're like, would you like some mints? And I'm like, yeah, I want some mints. It's awesome.
Every time you see one, you have to walk up to him and be like, so you're Grady, the old caretaker, aren't you?
Oh, or what if you fuck with him walking out and then as you're getting ready to leave, you just look in the mirror and go, Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. It's just run out.
You had to say it. You said it 2 more times, you dipshit.
Candyman,
we're all
Candyman.
Dead. You murdered us.
Did I?
You murdered us.
Or was it fate?
I'm going to die.
I feel like fate. Yeah, I'm going with fate. Well, good evening, folks.
We'd
like to thank you all for joining us. And now it's mine, although I have no control from this end. So
I love Cap's Aunt May need her heart pills, oy vey.
I tell you, Aunt May makes me need my heart pills.
Aunt May, man.
No, not heart pills. Actually, Aunt May nowadays makes me need to do yoga. I watch her on screen. I'm like, Marissa Tomei, cool. I need to eat right, take care of myself.
Well, since we were in a movie together, I can tell you she's aces all across the board.
Naturally.
We were in a movie, and I did meet her, and she is just as beautiful. Yeah, in Anger Management.
Did you give her a high five?
I did not.
You didn't meet her. You didn't meet her here.
I did meet her.
That's what high fives are. Here connects directly to here. That's science, bro.
That's true. But I saved my high fives for you.
It's that anatomy. You check it out. You read up on it. You find out. It's unfortunate you didn't get that connection, bro.
I'm not reading this. I haven't seen any of the Blank series yet. Go watch it, dude. Go watch it. Prank Call Cat. Yeah.
Prank Calkit?
Calkit? Calquette?
Calquette?
Calcutta?
Oh my God! Did he try to say Calcutta and then got murdered? Captain Cartoon.
We have to, dude. That's the new podcast, the Scene Snobs. But we're gonna solve
murders from here.
We're gonna solve Cap's murder. Yeah, that's what other podcasts do. They don't really do anything.
Okay.
They just talk and be like, "Well, remember back then, Cap was standing in his kitchen by himself, and nobody knew what was going on."
How did you know that? We have a field report.
And the wrong man was thrown in jail, we think, because we read something.
We think.
Caller.
Caller. And that's better. And
yeah, I'm doing that.
Nice, Captain Cartoon.
I'm doing that. I got to be on my P's and Q's, so I get high after. Paul Dunn says, she did amazing with her scene shooting, kept most of the skills very Hitchcock-like. So a lot of up to your imagination as a viewer. I greatly appreciated. The story build was beautiful. It was definitely on my top 5 sequels list.
That's fantastic. One of the things that actually got me about the first Candyman was why I had seen it on like USA's Up All Night or something weird, or TNT. And the fact that they had cut out a lot of the gore was... It actually added more to the tension. It was a movie that worked without a ton of the gore and death and blood. So I'm excited to hear that. That sounds awesome because that always was one that messed you up. You know, you never know what the death is going to be. You just see the swinging hand of Jason's machete or something, and it's like, but yeah, it's better when your imagination can do it.
I agree. I'm with you on that one. Which Aunt May? It was Marissa Tomei.
Well, let me bump the brakes there, big fella.
No, he's asking me which one I worked with.
All right, let's not. No. All right, babe.
He's asking which one I worked with.
Or Lily Tomlin. You know, everybody's cool.
I would love to meet Lily Tomlin.
I would love to meet Lily Tomlin, man. I want to hang out and have coffee with her and hear all the stories.
She's like another Drew Barrymore for me. She's just one I just want to hang out with.
Yeah. Oh, agreed. 100%.
And occasionally, love to, because I don't care how old she gets. That woman's comedy is the most attractive thing in the world.
Well, that is absolutely true. Someone who can make me laugh is all that really matters. It's what
she's always made me laugh. Oh yeah. Hi. Most definitely, Tony Todd was such a great presence. I got to see the movie. I'm definitely going to see it because I love that whole series. Yeah. He's an amazing character. And I like what they're doing with it to open it up. That as an entity, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but this is what I took.
You're wrong.
I haven't read any spoilers on it. I don't know anything about it, other than what I saw in the trailers. But I guess they're going to make him as an entity. It's not just that one man. It's Black people who have been wronged throughout history and wrongly murdered.
Yeah, it's almost like he's a spirit of that, which is radical.
I like that a lot. And you know what? It actually brings me to our next topic because we are talking about horror, and that this is one of the genres that was named the most when I put the question out there. But what genres have the most predictable storylines? And I wanted to run that past you and see what you thought and kind of rap about it a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of kicked this around, and I was thinking through the major ones. Like film noir, I feel like has a very specific set of beats. It's pretty consistent, but part of the fun of it is the mystery and being able to twist in which characters, which one, and that's part of what noir is. So it's not really as predictable. Yeah. I'd say romantic comedy was actually the one that comes down as being the absolute most predictable, because there's very few romantic comedies that don't end with inevitably people are together. Or finding love, whether it's love within yourself or with someone else or within your family. So, you're not getting really much further out of that. So I think that's the most predictable.
So for you then, okay, so thinking about it along those lines, when it comes to genres, I tend to agree with you with the romantic comedies. And a lot of people said slasher movies are the same way. And I'm glad
but to me, slashers have the ability to change who the killer is, and that makes it less predictable. Hence, kind of going back to the question at its core, predictability. It's not as predictable. And that's part of what I like about slashers, is such as Bloody Summer Camp. Like that was unpredictable and wonderful. So I loved how that worked out. So.
And I definitely agree with you on the rom-coms. I think because you have that unpredictability of who the killer could be, it makes it stand out a little bit more. But I would say, like, plot wise, when you put the whole plot together,
right here, they
are very similar. Jesus. When you put the Plotamus together, the Plotamus Maximus, it's going to be very similar. Like you see the beats as you watch each. So I would say slashers, westerns, maybe more old school westerns than new school.
Yeah, like the old school westerns pre-1970s, I think absolutely. They definitely fit, you know, who the macho man was, who the bad guy was, you black hats, you white hats. You knew it was coming, you know.
Yeah. Then I would even say
they made the same movie twice with El Dorado and Rio Bravo. That's how predictable westerns became.
3 times.
Oh, sorry, 3 times. What was the third one again?
It was Rio Bravo, El Dorado, Rio Lobo.
Rio Lobo.
Remade again. John Wayne starred as the same character in all 3. All directed by Howard Hawks.
Shut up. No, it wasn't.
Every single one.
Hey, look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If people are still buying it, you keep going.
Because it was, I forget who Rio Lobo, the sheriff, was. Let me look that up real quick. So the sheriff was played by Dean Martin in Rio Bravo, which is the first one.
Yeah, and then it was Robert Mitchum in El Dorado, which is my favorite.
And then the next one was Rio Lobo. I'm trying to think of who the guy was.
Henry Fonda? No, that wouldn't be right age.
He had a lot of younger guys in that one, but I can't remember who.
Which one was the Ricky Schroeder one?
It was Bill Williams played the sheriff in that one.
Okay. And Ricky Schroeder was in Rio Lobo?
Ricky Schroeder wasn't in Rio Lobo.
Which one was the kid in Rio Lobo?
I don't know. Oh, Christopher Mitchum was in Rio Lobo.
That's it. Because in the second one, in El Dorado, which is my favorite, once again, James Caan is the one playing Mississippi.
Yeah, I think it was Christopher Mitchum because of Robert Mitchum. But yeah, so those are 3 westerns that very much are very similar.
You know, and in most family movies, if you think about it, a lot of animated movies outside of Disney Pixar. Disney Pixar movies have definitely changed it to where they're not as predictable. They add a level of uncertainty. You're not sure where they're going with it. Like for me, Inside Out, I didn't know where they were going with it. And then they took it a very interesting route and made you feel things. So that's not as predictable. But there are certain family movies that, like The Incredible Journey, Homeward Bound. Did you really think the dog wasn't going to make it home? Did you really think Chance was going to make it across? Like, I mean, come on. Like, there's too many points in those where you know what's going to happen.
Well, for me, one of the biggest things I saw when it comes to Pixar movies is that they at least they may kind of have similar tones, and they may kind of like get there similarly.
Lord, are you all right?
Dude, I swear to God.
We have an emergency, people. What's happening?
It is amazing.
Is it just gas?
Well, for me, I get like with Pixar, they all kind of touch down on the same beats throughout. Like, and they all deal with a lot of very familiar, like friendship is a big theme that they play. But the central theme in each one is different, and I got to give them credit on that. Like, yeah, so. Whereas Up may be about family, but it's also about the grieving process of family. Whereas The Incredibles is about family coming closer together when they have when there's too much stress in their lives and things like that, and how to become a cohesive unit and work together. And then you have something like Luca, which just came out, which is more about friendship, which is a big thing. But it's also about being true to yourself, which I love, things like that. And
which I think Inside Out, the dealing with the growing of emotions, and you're watching as you change and as you become, and how emotions are no longer as simple as, happy or sad. They're combined. You can have those moments, the complexity of it. And once again, family, how family sometimes grows apart, the distance that's grown, things that happen to get in the way of us not paying attention to what's happening as we're growing as people.
Well, Inside Out, it's a great when you ultimately think about Pixar movies and the themes that they play with. It is a great example of what, like we're saying here, like how different it was and how it deals with children dealing with emotions that they don't understand fully. And then taking that one step further and then looking at things like what's one of the most recent Pixar movies that just came out. It's going to drive me crazy. Luca was I liked Luca. Oh no, Remember Me.
Oh man, yeah.
Remember Me and what that dealt with. Like that's another one that deals with family, and deals with grieving, but also deals with so much more. Soul, another good one. Yeah. And so I like how Pixar deals with things, and it's perfect for kids and even like adults to kind of deal with it. A lot of it is based on mental health, and helping people cope with the different things,
different aspects of it. Absolutely. And it's done fantastically well. Yeah, whatever they're doing, like whatever psychologists are in the room, in the writer's room, as they're putting those together, like, oh, we're gonna fuck them up with this one. Like I'm convinced of that. After Up, I was like, this is what they're doing. They just come together as a collective, and they're like, hey, they just go grab, like, I don't know, students out of like NYU or whatever medical school there is for the big psychologist school, and they're just like, hey, you guys, help us write these scripts. You use this as like some class credit.
Think about it from this point of view, like the movies we grew up with. So let's take Bambi and Land Before Time. I'm not going to delve too hard into both of what make those horrific. And
the hunting,
the mom murdered basically, and then the child seeing this and having to go out on its own.
But I mean, that's how we eat meat.
But so we as kids saw that and we dealt with it. We dealt with like what made us upset about it. Yeah, I know.
Well, you're a maniac.
You're not well put together.
I bottled that up. That is maintained deep down. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not ready to deal with Bambi's mom's death. You're out of your mind.
As far as millennials, we're not doing things well. But then, so like when you watch that with your parents, you're like, I'm sad my parents could die. And it gave you an idea of what death was. So it was teaching you something. But then as a parent watching Inside Out and being like, it's a whole new thing. It's like, wow. Yeah, you almost awaken to it. Like these children are dealing with emotions so much, and
like earlier than we did. More rapidly than we did. Things are coming at you faster, and especially that transition, showing that things change everybody, and it's important to become malleable and to be able to pay attention to what's going on around you. So. And it's so easy to get caught up in your lives because the message is to the parents as well. It's so easy to get caught up in your shit. You're not paying attention to your kid's shit, and you need to, pay attention to your kid's shit.
And a thing I liked about it too is like, whereas with Bambi and Land Before Time, they found their own. More so Bambi, because Bambi he actually aged.
He got over saying bird.
Yeah. So, but when he aged, it's like, okay, I may still grieve, I still care about my mother. I killed the hunter and such, but like, he went on with his life. His life continued, but you don't get any sense of like
as far as
Bambi feels. Yeah, you don't. That's true. You don't get a sense though of how Bambi feels going on. At least with something like Inside Out, it's saying like it's okay to move on. It's okay.
I mean, you don't feel like he was pretty sad?
No, he was, but as an adult, he not really. They did not really show that.
No, of course. Why would he worry about it? He's fucking off with his buddies, Flower and Thumper. He doesn't care anymore. He's a teenager. He's like, whatever. Boopity boop boop boop.
So all you're doing is further proving my point. Goddamn Pixar knows what they're doing.
Well, of course they do. They're brilliant with it. Bambi didn't give a shit. You think, look, man, Littlefoot figured it out. Land Before Time, Littlefoot figured it out. Ducky was like, whatever, I got ditched by my parents. Screw them. Like, she was awesome. That's what I learned from being a kid. Like, you had Petrie, who was left behind because he was incapable of doing what the other ones were able to do. So they were like, nope, you're dead.
I'm telling you.
So they kicked him out. Then you've got, and poor Spike, who even knows what happened? Who even knows, like, maybe his parents were eaten?
Spike was the dunce. Poor Spike.
Spike. Well, that's easy now. Let's not insult him. Spike was sweet in here where it mattered.
He was very.
And then you had Sarah, who really should have been in charge. I don't know why Littlefoot kept trying to take charge. Just why?
It's
Because
almost
you could
like,
see
but it's
higher
like,
up. That's come on.
no, it's like Childs in The Thing when Kurt Russell's McCready says, "I think somebody with a little more even temperament should be the leader," and he reluctantly took it. Littlefoot had a little more even temperament.
Yeah, but I mean, I just don't know. I feel like Sarah's natural aggression would have forged them forward faster.
Listen,
and they probably never would have come across Sharptooth if they had been hustling, but instead, Littlefoot's like, hey, let's go dick off and get some tree stars, blah, 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 blah.
But it was as the leader of the group, Littlefoot stepped in, and when he finally started listening to Sarah and everybody else, especially Sarah, they defeated Sharptooth, and that was the important part. So it doesn't mean you're an effective leader because you can't just yell at people all the time either. I mean,
just look, you can work on personal skills. All right. Like she could have grown out of it. This was life and death. And I'm pretty sure her decisive decision-making would have definitely led them down the path faster and more efficiently. I'm just saying. She was like, the idea of German efficiency. Just get it done, get moving.
I like
sometimes
how anybody
squeal when you're chasing.
Based on Gerard's thing, 911. I'm calling the EMT. Similarly. Everybody knows I can't say that word now. It's not that I don't know that that's the word.
Verisimilitude.
I know what it works, but I know that that's the word I need to use. I just can't say it. My brain does not work that. I'm looking at it.
You need to actually start putting cards together of what you're trying to say. So that way, whenever you fail on the word, you can just hold it up real quick so people who are watching can see, and then I will read it out as required.
That's fair. We should do a whole episode where I'm silent.
Absolutely. No. No, that's terrible.
Similarly, I did it.
There it is. Nailed it.
Cap says,
we all believe in you.
It did. I like
Soul. They'll kill it.
I did like Soul. There's something not kind of missing from it, in my opinion. But so I didn't love it, but I did like it a lot. Bambi and The Land Before Time are trauma-inducing. Yes.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you another trauma-inducing one is freaking, what is it? The Never-Ending Story.
That's, Gerard says the same thing.
Yep,
I'm gonna tell you guys, you know what movie sucks the most?
What?
The Never-Ending Story.
No, it does not. First of all, it's fantastic. But it is terrifying as a kid because the Nothing Wolf is freaking creepy. It's giant. And Artex. You kill the freaking horse in like the first 20 minutes. Yeah. Bro, that was hurtful. It took me like 3 months to recover from that.
Well,
like it was pretty rough. And it only happened during COVID that I was comfortable dealing with those emotions because I wasn't going to be around people. So I just kind of locked down and it was a good time to handle the death of Artex. Listen, Legend, first of all, Legend's amazing. Legend is another great one. I like Legend. I mean, Tim Curry as the darkness. I am darkness. He's so good. And he's so terrifying. And that really scared me. But Mia Sara gave me serious feels in my soul when I was a young lad. She would when she goes evil, like, come on. That is so awesome.
She's gorgeous. And that does not give her value. What gives her value?
No, I was just saying I was a young boy, and she was one of the first women who really caught my eye and, made me go, aha. So that's where I land.
My only value is my looks.
Of course it is. My only value is my ability to bring and provide things for people. Cap,
I'm right there with you. Never-Ending Story, I never really got into it. Never thought it was that good.
I don't know why you didn't.
Part 2, maybe, but Part 1, I lost it. Yeah, keep losing it. Because, in fact, take the DVD and lose it because it's terrible.
I mean, you don't really have to. Or if you want to lose it at my place, come on over. We'll lose it together. I don't know what that means.
All those movies. I do have a story to share. We were kind of talking about Free Guy earlier.
Oh, yeah?
So I was going to go to movies this weekend to see Free Guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I get my tickets to the movie theater. Now, I had been there like a week or two prior, maybe not even that long ago, for Jack's birthday. We went and saw the Paw Patrol movie, which was busy, but it wasn't that bad. I still feel like there was a buffer space. I felt pretty good about it. we went and saw the movie. It was good. But then we went in to go see Free Guy this weekend. Packed to the gills. Now, this is week 3. That's great for the movie. I'm very happy about it. Packed to the gills. No buffer seating. We walk in. We walk over to. We picked out seats up front, so that way people would maybe still be spaced out. And I actually didn't know they weren't doing buffer seating. What they were doing is, if you buy certain seats, they would block off a seat or two next to you.
Okay.
That's what they were doing, during COVID.
Right.
I guess they're not doing that anymore, because when we walked in, there was a line of 8 people butted up right against our seats.
Did you start licking them?
I did not. I did not do that. I don't.
Was there any uncomfortable face touching amongst each other? Hello, person.
Here's the deal. I don't even fly Delta.
Yeah.
So I don't want any type of Delta. No variants for me.
Did you get right up against someone and turn around and lean up against them and fart physically on them?
No, I wish I did. No, those are old school rules.
That is true. Those are things you couldn't do in the 80s.
You could do them, but
it's kind of illegal. It's
sure.
Invasion of privacy kind of thing, personal space, but whatever.
Back then, nobody was calling the cops. So what pissed me off was we see that it's packed and it's butted right up. I'm like, come on, seriously. First of all, I'm pissed off at this group because they do have other spots on the other side, and it's I know that they weren't there when we bought our tickets because there was nobody there when we bought our tickets. So it's you straight up bought, you pieces of garbage, straight up bought seats right up next to our seats, and there were still empty seats on the other side.
Yeah, if they're available, you'd buy them, because why would you think otherwise? That's not like they specifically targeted you and were oh, Mick's bringing his boys to the movies, so guess what we're going to do?
I'm so pissed off about it.
Yeah, I know you are, bro. I noticed that. But so my question to you then is, what do you feel your righteousness stems from? What do you feel the answer should be right now? How should the situation have been? What should you have walked into?
I feel like I should have walked into at least a 1-chair buffer seating between people, which is I still think that is should be a maintained rule with all the variants going around. Just because things are opening up and relaxing does not mean we shouldn't stay vigilant. Also, I walked in and there was not one mask on except for ours. And I'm and I get when you eat your food, that's one thing. But put your masks on. We're all just sitting there. The movie hadn't started. The movie wasn't starting for another 20 minutes. Why is there not one mask on or even around people's necks?
Right.
So that annoyed me, and it is what it is. We left, which I think is the option. I'm not saying I'm going to go in there and scream and be like, "You're all heathens" or anything like that.
I don't know why you wouldn't, and make sure you have drinks to throw.
I'm not one of those horrible people that grabs a bullhorn and stands on their soapbox.
That's 100%.
I do that here.
You are the guy. No, you're the guy who would be walking through the middle. If it was you and I in there and you were pissed, you would have 100% stood up and started going, well, it should be real nice if people were more respectful of our time out together in public. But you know what? We'll just leave. It'll be fine.
It would not have been that passive aggressive. It would have been straight up put your mask on. No, give credit where credit is due. In situations like that, I'll talk. We talked and we're like, all right, let's get out of here. Yeah. We're not going to do this here because this is crazy. Also, if it was a justice sort of thing, somebody was being messed with,
that's when you full on engage.
No,
that's when Batman shows up and you're like, I need justice. You're fueled by the need for justice. When injustice happens, it rips you apart a little bit. And that has been one of the crazy things about being your friend for all these years, is watching that as a thing. When I'm it was a joke. You used to plead I can't stand injustice. And then one night drunkenly, you were trying to stand up for someone because of injustice. And I was like, what?
Because that piece of garbage called him the N-word.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I was so drunk.
It was just, that's where you went with it. It was an injustice.
I remember having my mug, and I'm taking a drink, and like a bunch of us were standing there, and I think it was JT walked in.
Wow.
And he was just, and I'm not going to give any other names away. JT's a great dude, by the way. But JT came over and was like, yeah, that guy called me and he said the N-word. And I was just like, and I just beelined it for the, like, I was like, I'm not even waiting. Like, everybody else was just like, no, let it go. You're not stopping the justice. Like, it's not happening.
No, because
it's like, no, I'm gonna beat this.
You sniffed it out, and you're like, I have to teach him a lesson. Something.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like, so many people are just like, it wasn't a white savior thing or anything like that. It's just like Mick hears injustice is happening, and like he springs into Batman mode.
Yeah, it's so weird.
No martial arts included, no gadgets of any kind. It's just giant fisticuffs.
You just want to take the face and smoosh it against a wall and be like, hey. Hey.
There were so many times I did that. Remember? It was just like,
yes.
What? And it's just like pin them against the wall, holding them there. Oh, my God.
So as far as this pandemic thing, man, my belief in it is it's unfortunately, once again, being on the side of absurd amounts of freedom, corporations have the right to make money and to be open and do whatever they feel they need to do. Mm-hmm. It's our opportunity now to decide who we want to support. So if there are companies out there handling things a different way, that's where I would put my money, and that's what I will invest in. And it's good to know that right now certain places are open, and I hold nothing against them. Everyone should have the opportunity to do whatever the hell they want to do. If they're able to make money, and considering theaters are hurting from everything that's been happening, I completely support however they feel they have to do that.
Oh, yeah. And
that just means that for me is a place I won't go. And it's unfortunate to have purchased tickets and found that out that way. So that sucks.
Yes. And I'm glad you brought that up, because to me, if they are allowing this, then this isn't my rights are being messed with sort of situation. Like, I didn't walk in and I was like, how dare they do this? Mm-hmm. I walked in and I was like, I'm not doing this. And that's my choice, and I can walk out. I didn't make a scene. I didn't fight with anybody. I just said, I don't think we should do this. I don't feel comfortable. Let's go. And everybody else.
And there's nothing wrong with that, to have that choice. But then you can't also be upset when people aren't enforcing anything either. There's the other side of it, where that is their right. And you decided to go to their place of business, that's you adhere to their rules, you know? Yeah. So, and once again, your rights aren't technically being infringed upon because you've decided to go out and make this choice that I'm going to go to a theater where my contact with people is going to be much higher. So,
based on experience now, I have made like for me, I think it's getting too lax at movie theaters. I do.
Yeah.
And it's not just a lot of places are like that. But I choose not to go out to those places. And I always loved going to movie theaters. So now, because I've seen that, I'm not going to be going to movie theaters. So unfortunately, I lose my money. Now, does that mean it breaks the bank? No. And I don't wish anybody harm or anything like that. But it's
until we get off of here and he just starts talking mad shit.
No, it's going to be about something else.
It'll be about me. He'll be like, hey, what do you talk over me, you piece of garbage? I don't even know why we still do this show with you.
I do that on air. I only do that on air. Because fair. I figure if I do it on air, you still have to come back each week.
Well, see, it's me being publicly shamed, and I don't know. I guess it's my kink.
Shame from the beautiful hot woman.
Man.
From Ted
Every
Lasso.
time I'm like, give me that fucking bell ringing, girl. Woo.
Yeah, she was perfect. Mm-hmm. So like, I just feel like it's getting too lax. So it's time for me to tighten up. We talked about this though, like tightening up and with the variants going on, and it's going to be getting into the colder months, like just kind of playing it smart, and minimizing the risk too, because the kids are going to school now, and now there's a mask mandate, and they follow it. Like Jack came out, got in the car during pickup today with his mask on. I was like, you can take it off now. He's like, nope, I'm leaving it on until I get home. And I was like, okay, that's weird, but whatever. I'm like, you're wearing, like, I'm not arguing with them because I'm like, you're wearing the mask, and that's what's
right, which is great. But it's just funny. And he's like, nope, not until we get home.
Like Tommy had it on until he saw the car, and then he pulled it off. He's like, I'm done. And I was like, that's fine, man. As long as you're wearing it in school. But Jack was like, nope, I'm wearing it until we get home. And I was like, okay, kid, whatever you want.
It's amazing.
You know, but good on you, because I'm glad that they're taking it seriously. So like, and that's the only thing. Like, even if people were wearing their masks, and again, I know they come off when you eat, but if they were actually wearing masks in that movie theater, I might have actually thought about, all right, I mean, they're wearing masks. We could probably sit down and be fine. But no, I'm not doing it. And you know, with everybody not wearing masks, it's truly scary, especially in a place like a movie theater where even the staff wasn't wearing masks. You know, and it's like, it's just like, I can't do this right now. There's too much going on. There's too many kids going into the hospital, and there's enough people who aren't taking this seriously. Now, I'm sorry. I know how much movie theaters suffered. I was a proponent for movie theaters and going back as long as it was safe. But now that it doesn't feel safe, I'm afraid I'm going to have to sit out. Enjoy your death trap, ladies.
Once again, that's something that you can absolutely go with, man. And I firmly believe in being able to do whatever the hell you want to do. I am of the similar style. I want to minimize my interaction and my risk for as long as possible. And I think it's just playing it smart. As much as I want to go to movie theaters and things like that, I'm still not going to risk it just yet. And it's not really, I don't feel like it's super risky right now. It just adding that variable, increasing that amount, you know, like are you going to increase it by 10% that you could get it, or 20% by putting yourself in this situation, you know? So and no reason to mess with it. And, you know, Gerard just said, slightly off topic, my son's school quarantined the entire first grade class for 2 weeks. So, you know, we're already on fire. There's all kinds of places that's happening, and it's unfortunate. And I hope that it doesn't hurt our children in a way that could potentially be severely damaging. I hope this next wave is not as bad as people are forecasting and potentially will be. So I just, you know, be smart, be safe. Please do what's best for you and do what's best for your family. And if it so lines up to being vaccinated, please do so.
We'll just kind of go over the topics real quick. Gerard said he's coming over for Never Ending Story. I will not be there. Call me when Legend's on.
Now we're doing it.
They
look like maybe strong hands.
Farting would cause a public health emergency. Now,
absolutely.
Agreed. 1 chair buffer until the pandemic is under control. I do agree.
Which I really dislike, because I love sitting next to strangers and just awkwardly muttering things under my breath the whole time.
You did it. When we went to go see all the Star Wars movies together, you did enjoy that. I mean, and we've seen a lot more than just Star Wars, but you do enjoy that. It is funny.
It's fun. Well, when you do it at the right time, it's hilarious. Because when
it's
people
not
do cheers
hilarious.
And stuff, you just...
It is not hilarious now how we watch movies, where it's just you and I in a room, and then you start muttering to somebody else in the room, and it's like
to wear your face as a lamp.
It's like, you're not even talking to me, dude.
What? Believe me, there are people there in here.
Gerard says Mike in angry mode is mildly terrifying.
Nah, he's fine. You just got to run fast.
Bullshit.
And zigzag. Actually, try to make corners. Like, if you can make big S's.
Yeah, you're good. But don't keep zigzagging, like crossing the middle. Like, you have, because if he will maintain, I'm going to get to you eventually at some point.
But he's going to run like this.
And I have a wide wingspan. And Casey has seen me grab people and pull them back. And lift them out of the air, dangling feet and all. And pull
you do not think that he's going to get out that far, but boy, when he gets there, it's woof.
Yeah, and I do.
It's a lot of man.
And if I'm drunk, which does not happen really ever anymore,
Thank God.
If I'm drunk, there's nothing you can do to me that's going to stop me anytime soon. Like, you could shoot me and I'm still going to keep going until there's literally no more blood. It's just, and even then, I'm still probably going to be like the Chris Farley pounding on my chest trying to get those last
seriously are turning into Jason. Somehow through all of this, you're like, by the way, as a child, I was fucking drowned in a lake, and now I'm fucking immortal. If you shoot me, I'm just going to keep coming with my machete and hockey mask. And then if you burn me, I'm just going to freaking become stronger from that. I'll absorb the pain and become stronger.
One of my favorite things One of my favorite things, bar fight stories, was with you guys when you guys were trying to back me up, and there was 2 guys going after, and I got in the middle, and I just put them with my wingspan, put them up against a wall on either side, and you guys were behind them, and like you guys are trying to get out from behind them, and I'm just like, guys, I got it, and you're like, you're looking at me like, you got me too, man.
Yeah, I was literally pinned to the side, like, dude, but I can't. I'm supposed to be like cool right now.
Behind the guy.
I'm supposed to be like, this is the bartender stepping in, like, hey, that's enough of that, and I can't because I'm like, I can't. Hey, guy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait here for a second, and, just like, and then
I guess it's all fine.
And they were just so pissed because they were both like really drunk and angry, and I wasn't even drunk, and like I'm still holding them against the wall.
You were laughing. Do you remember laughing, you sick bastard? You were laughing. You got them together.
They were hitting, but they weren't making it because they had short arms.
They were swinging under your armpit. It was hilarious. They were just like, and then like after the 3rd swing, they were like, and they just kind of stopped as you're just cracking up. And I'm still pinned like, well, what's up, guys? Anyone need anything?
It was so funny to me because it's just like they were trying to go and trying to hit me. And like yelling at each other because they hated each other, and I'm just like, knock it off. Like, calm down.
I'm going to go completely off topic and just bring it back to another topic since we're out of time. I want to mention that during our Multiverse chat, we had discussed the idea of you and I having to face off against Multiverse Snobs. So I want you to give your best and your worst Multiverse snob that you'd have to go up against. For me, real quick, it's going to be animated Casey is going to be the worst version of me. All right? Because he's going to be doing all this wacky shit. He's going to be able to pull out anvils from anything and jump from high places and do kersplat sound effects. And I'm just going to be super jealous. So not fucking cool. Fuck that guy. The second one that's going to be a lot of fun is Android Casey. I was thinking maybe Cyborg, but Android Casey would be way cooler because it's like data. So imagine me trying to figure out how to have feelings.
That'd be weird.
Right?
Yeah, that would be really weird. I don't even know. Like, I think female Mick would screw with me because she'd be hot. I mean, let's face facts.
Of course.
And I'd probably be attracted to her.
Are you kidding me? Hey, that's not cool.
I'd be so attracted to myself as a female variant, like Loki. Like, I think I'd fall in love. It would just happen.
Valid. I mean, your narcissism level does reach that.
Can you imagine? And then Circus Bear variant of me. That would give me a problem.
Holy shit, Circus Bear variant of you. Oh, I didn't even think about an animal variant. Okay, animal variant, totally a lemur. Down to party and hang out, and as soon as shit goes bad, I'm out. We'll see you all later. Goodbye.
I dig
King
it.
Julian, goodbye.
I like
Time
it.
to go.
Jesus. I will say this before we kind of move on. I do want to get to your topics, not your topics, your comments. And George G3 says our school has already had 7 cases between students and 2 staff. Then that's just on the first days of school. That's horrifying.
Sorry to hear that, George.
Yeah, George, please. I hope your son is safe. Cam says wear a big trench coat and sunglasses. I did that for a long time.
Yes, you did. It was uncomfortable for everyone.
In my angel phase.
Man, I love that we both had angel phases. I'm going to bring my angel phase back. I think that's what I'm doing this winter. This winter, I'm going to totally rib sweatshirts and the trench coat, just the whole time brooding look.
You need an archer phase. That's what you need. You need to get to an archer phase. There it is. There it is. Smolder. Smolder more. Smolder more.
But Buffy.
More.
Yeah, I got it. All right. All right.
George
I'm locking in.
I have been to Amherst Theater twice, and there have only been about 20 people in the whole place. It's nice, but sad at the same time. It is, but I mean, if you're not going to put policies in place, people aren't going to come. This is more and more terrifying as we continue. Oh, me as a fighter?
Being you, yeah.
I don't do it anymore. And even in like those bar fights, it wasn't me fighting. It was me breaking up fights.
No, very seldom have I ever heard of you ever fighting.
Yeah, like you have
in Jersey,
it's
but
an
you have
injustice.
to, like, Jersey's a way of life. Like, apparently you have to fight to just, like, get through the next tier or levels or whatever you people have in Jersey.
Like, if you ever played the game Ninja Gaiden on NES back in the day, that's what New Jersey's like at all times.
See, that's what I always figured. Remember the little handheld one that was just like the little blip, like black
No, it was a real game. Boop, boop. No.
The Tiger Electronics.
All in pink and purple. The whole thing's pink and purple. Call in the Brute Squad. I am the Brute Squad. It's true.
I am the Brute Squad.
Case actually.
I'm on the Brute Squad. You are the Brute Squad.
I need to bring you back to Jersey because guess what's all gone? And I shit you not when I say this.
The factories that were
the factories and the scrapyards.
No.
They took them all out. They're building up the waterfront.
More strip clubs?
The den is still there.
But is the scrapyard still next to it?
No. They're building everything up.
Well, then what's the goddamn point?
Dude, Carteret.
If I can't risk tetanus while going in to see boobs, then I don't know if that's my world.
Hear me out. Carteret is getting a ferry to New York next year, and it has a performing arts center. As a performing arts center now.
Like
and I've locked in the snobs for a 6-night event. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true.
You have no idea how excited I was about to be. If we were seriously going to do a 6-night event out of Jersey in what was once a scrapyard, bro, I'm bringing in the EKG meter. I'm going to find out exactly what kind of radiation's going on there. I need to know everything. I'm going to bring soil testing kits. I'm going to it'd be brutal. I would have so much fun.
We need to take another Jersey road trip so I can show you everything. George Street 3 says Boogie's school hasn't been impacted yet.
Well, that's good. Good.
And Gerard says, wait, I almost left the room but came back for strip clubs.
Right?
It's the den. Just calm down.
You can't just say that because it's a mythical place. All right? It's not just anything. It is the strip club next to the scrapyard in Jersey, the newest of Jerseys.
But there's a lot of strip clubs. Like the strip clubs in Jersey are really bright. Like really bright. And okay, so here's how it goes.
So that you can see the weapons?
Basically. So the strip clubs in Jersey, here's how it works. If you serve alcohol there, if it's a bar, it's a go-go place. So they cannot be nude.
So no boobs.
No boobs. Now, if it's not a bar, can be topless. And if you want full nude, you got to go Staten Island. And nobody
that
wants
sounds like a really long trip. And what's wrong with Staten Island?
Nothing if you're hanging out with Wu-Tang.
See, because that's obviously Wu-Tang. But Wu-Tang Clan is nothing to fuck with. So therefore, that is null and void because that's anywhere in the world. If you're hanging out with Wu-Tang, you're fine. That's true.
That is true. Wu-Tang is the greatest rap band of all time, in my opinion. Nothing to fuck with. So
it's for the children.
And Impractical Jokers. So I give it to them. And listen, Staten Island's fine. Like we used to go there to drink after 2 a.m. to 4 a.m.
So you wait till you're hammered, so that way you could go out there and feel more comfortable about being in Staten Island.
Oh,
and then just before you could get in trouble, get the fuck out.
No, you hook up with some beautiful Staten Island honey.
Are those known as what are they? What, Italian queens or what are their names?
I have no idea.
Italian princesses, I think that's what they are, or something like that.
Probably.
Yeah. You're the one who had this slandering language that you taught me. So
I'm not telling you. Shush. I'm on the air.
No, they're actually the strippers at the strip clubs next to the scrapyards.
Yeah, but I love a girl from New York and New Jersey. I love that accent. All right.
Okay, George G, read that one last comment. That was beautiful, George.
All right, I'm getting there. The biggest strip club is MetLife Stadium. The Giants and Jets stripped of wins every Sunday.
Yes, they do. As a New York Giants fan, I can tell you we are awful, and I am not expecting much this season.
No, me neither. It's sad, and my kids are both Eagles fans, so it hurts even more.
No, don't worry. They're going to be. They might have no wins, maybe one.
True. Okay, so real quick, I do want to make some announcements. Remember, our merch store is open. Go to the scenesnobsmerch.com.
Buy merch store stuff and wear our stuff, and it's really cool. And then you can tell your friends, and they're going to be like, "Whoa, where'd you get that cool stuff?" And be like, "At the merch store, the scenesnobsmerch.com."
Yeah, true. And if you have you got a beautiful bug up your ass, make sure you head over on Sundays to Helium Radio Network. The links will be up on the scenesnobs.com. At 12:30 p.m. on their station number 2 in Untethered Radio, we will be playing. The Scene Snobs are now playing on there. So
yes, wonderful. Super excited. Thank you, Helium Radio Network. So yes. Super excited to be a part of that. Let's see what else we got.
Well, we got to announce our winner for the winner of the let me move that banner.
Movie Coach Drinking Game.
Yep, Movie Coach Drinking Game. Our Patreon prize winner was chosen, and it is John. John is our August prize winner.
Victory! Glory and honor to you in your house.
So Paul, Chris Sales, and John are our first 3 winners of the summer. We will be announcing next week what the prize is going to be, and then at the end of the month, we will announce the winner. So if you are interested, it's $5 a month on our Patreon. Join up, become a member, and you will be eligible for that too, and other things. So, comments real quick. Cap says, hell yeah, John. Oh, yep. Cap knows John well. Yeah, thank you, John, for all the support. Everybody on our Patreon.
Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who supported us.
Yes,
keeping us afloat.
So that's our show. I think we did pretty well. And,
we'll just do some live critique now. So really, Mick, I think there are some areas where we're a little bit weak. I mean, I feel like some handoffs weren't quite on point. They weren't as tight as they could have been. I feel like when we transitioned, we kind of skipped through some of those topics, could have brought it back, could have really expounded on it and really brought into more. But you know what? Hey, it's really good. It was good effort. I say solid B-. I'm pretty stoked about this.
I could have said it better myself. We're on Rotten Tomatoes at 83%, so that's pretty good.
Hey, rock and roll. Do love it. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you guys. I love you.
Cap, it's we understand, man. I don't force anybody or ask anybody like, hey, definitely do this. But like, if you want to be a part of it, we appreciate the support. And we try to do prizes. I will say this for horror fans: September, October, going to be horror movie related. Love Halloween season starts tomorrow for me. Yep. So for us here, I should say the snobs, we're big horror fans. And after Star Trek, we really are going to ramp it up. Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean, The Greatest followed right after by Halloween. I'm so amped. I don't even know what I want to be this year, but we're going to get into that later. It's time to go. It's been too long.
No,
I do. People are still listening.
I know. I need to make announcements, though. I'm sorry. Real quick, I do want to show this very quickly. One of our sponsors is having their Skyline Indie Film Fest is September 9th through the 12th. Now, they are doing both in-person and virtual. So they're going to have in-person and virtual. So if you want to check out some of their movies, I saw a shit ton of fun, really fun movies that there last year. So if you head over, if you want to attend, like you can just click on it, and it will bring you to the page where you can get your full passes. You can pick 5 short movies, or you can check out some of their features and stuff. Somebody who's been on the show quite a bit, Stephen Morgan, who directed Rook. Rook is a featured movie there at Skyline this year, and I think he's going to be in town, so we might have him in to hang out and maybe do another interview with us. Great guy, and I loved Rook. So go check them out. I love Skyline Indie Film Fest. It is their 9th annual film festival. They love independent films of all genres. Like, there was a lot of really cool horror stuff in there last year too. So please go check them out. Go to skylineindiefilmfest.org. Get your tickets. Support. That's what it's all about. Supporting each other. So that's what I had. So we got George saying, you guys are locked in for me every Tuesday. Thank you for being here during my lifetime. We love you, George. Cap, we love you too. My bearded dragon loves Star Trek. Well, join us next week.
I don't know if that's a euphemism or if he legitimately has a bearded dragon, but I don't want to know, because in my mind, I'm just going to start being like, hey, how y'all doing? You want to hang out with my bearded dragon?
Is your bearded dragon's name Worf? It should be.
Oh, no, if it only if it had 2 spikes.
Oh, sure it does. Without Your Head has a big film fest this weekend on YouTube. Okay, we'll check that out.
Check it out.
Sweet. I love film festivals. So, but the 9th through the 12th, please go support Skyline. That's my buddy Brian. I host Pulling Focus podcast with him, which is a lot of fun to do, where we talk. It's more strictly filmmaking side of things. So his name is Freddie. I love that your bearded dragon's name is Freddie, and that's perfect. Radical. We've been going on for a little while. I want to say congratulations, John, again. Thank you for all our Patreon supporters. Thank you for all of you who support and watch us. You can listen to us anytime. Again, Helium Radio Network, Sundays, Untethered Radio at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. To my good buddy, Coach Beard.
You'll get it. It's all right, Ted.
I will get it one day. I will. I forget it's mirrored, so like
You're
I'm
getting
like
so close to be able to be like it's right there. All right.
Okay, so
love you
thank you very much, everybody. Love
You're
you guys.
all amazing. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves.
And I'm going to start signing off every week by saying, "Love you, Len."